Hello, welcome back. We are here for Hearts of Wulin, Gaze into Silken Night. All right, so we are playing the Numberless Secrets expansion of Hearts of Wulin. And so we're just going to be reintroduced to our characters since we got through character creation and entanglements last time. Um, we unfortunately are missing our Black Orchid player, but we hope that Ray will get enough rest, and then we will be able to see him next time. Okay, so all right, if we can go from left to right. That's convenient that Black Orchid's last. But if we can go from left to right, reintroducing yourself and your character, um, and what you remember from specifically from last time, if anything. So we'll start with Gullible Mu. Oh, and that was a name change. If you want to explain that, Rod.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hi, Rod. He, him. I was playing Ren Liang. I am playing Ren Liang, who was initially Simple You. We've changed him to Gullible Mu. I think that'll be a little more fun. I think there's an issue with some ambiguity with his name that I wanted, that someone had brought up and we wanted to change. Um, and he's a shepherd boy who is playing the student role book playbook and the younger sibling. Um, and yeah, I think will be he's young and impressionable and not too worldly. He does have two animal companions, a sheep named Baby Cloud and a pug named Venerable Pie. Um, and yeah, I think that's it.
Okie doke. All right, let's go on to Agatha. Please reintroduce us to Jintong, please.
Yeah, Jintong, she, her is a former member of the Red Lanterns Association, which is an assassin association. Um, she failed a mission previously and got poisoned in the process. And I've added a bit to her look in that she probably looks pale and a bit anemic looking, which is an effect of the poison. And I haven't decided her vibe yet for role playing, so I might change it up. Jinto's gonna be Valley Girl now. No, or maybe unless no. Yeah, and she she's forced to run away from the Red Lanterns because having a failed mission means that she has betrayed the association, and how they treat traitors is elimination. So what happened last time that I remember? I remember that we were on our way to was it Guan Yu? We were on our way to a party where we each, yeah, Guan Yu, Sun Guan Yu's party or something. We each got an invitation, a personal invitation to it. And then on the way we came across an upturned cart that had all these empty coffins in them, and that cart was also headed towards the estate of Sun Guan Yu. So that was weird.
Absolutely. All right, and Soup. Thomas, please reintroduce us
Yeah,
to Soup.
hi. I'm Thomas. He him. I'm playing Soup, whose real name is Zheng. Soup is running away from his responsibility of taking over the Clove School, which is actually a school of detectives. Sticking with the kind of theme of this game. And Clove is best friend slash sworn brothers with Black Orchid and is a bit of a sort of Casanova um uh sort of womanizer kind of guy, but he's in love with Morning Storm, who is pretending to be betrothed to Red Muyang, which is, you know, uh, a struggle that he's just living with. And also, Jintong killed his Master Clove, and everyone knows except him. And that's something I'm also excited for him to find out. Also, he thinks Moo's lamb is a dog. These are all the important details that I remember from the last session. Yeah.
I love
Would it
it.
be okay, Thomas, if I said that I'm not aware that Jintong killed your master? Because I don't think I'd
Yeah.
be that observant.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. If you don't want to, yeah, that's
Okay, thank you.
definitely also fine. Like, yeah.
All right. So basically, well, this is going to be interesting because, I mean, like, I know that, like, from when we did entanglements, Hearts of Wulin has entanglements where, like, all the characters are involved with each other in some general or romantic way. And one of the entanglements was Jintong owes Black Orchid everything. But if Black Orchid knows that Jintong killed Soup's master, oh boy. Okay, we'll deal with that when it comes up. It'll be great. Oh, it's fine. It's all good. Okay. So, yes, we are playing Hearts of Wulin. We are in a, like, wuxia setting at this moment, but I mean, like, with Numberless Secrets, it's basically involving mystery mechanics, and we will find our PCs embroiled in a mystery. Although it's getting pretty mysterious as we started last time. I just want to call upon a difference or an addition to the Hearts of Wulin game using the Numberless Secrets mechanic. So in Numberless Secrets, study is a revised / expanded move, okay? So when you normally study something, you're trying to find out about the world or establish new facts, and then you're going to roll. And then you gain hold, like as much hold depending on what kind of result that you get. When you have study in a Numberless Secrets game, one of the two, like, I think the two things that are in addition to the normal questions that you can check on in regular study is gain a clue, which costs 2 hold, or you can gain a clue, associate it with a mystery facet, and rewrite that facet 3 hold. So I'll explain what the facets are when we get into the actual mystery, but I just want to call attention to that. And then the other thing that is different or in addition in this game is something called shadows. So each PC begins the game with shadows. These are flashbacks in 6 categories: mentor, family, betrayal, duty, passion, and failure. When a player rolls study, they may mark one of these shadows and raise their result by 1 degree. So 6 minus goes up to 7 to 9, 7 to 9 can go up to 10 to 11, and then 10 to 11 you can raise all the way to 12 plus. All right. When you activate a shadow to raise your result, you should briefly narrate a flashback to their past on that particular topic, saying how it connects to something in the moment. Something reminds them of a person, their feelings, recall an incident, they notice a strange parallel between events. If that narration would break the flow of play, we can have you describe that in the scene, like after the scene or later in the session. So that's fine too, okay? But you would call out mechanically that, oh, I'm using a shadow to bump up my result, okay? Once marked, a shadow may not be used again. Players may only mark a shadow for study and only for themselves. As a new advance option, players may pick clear 3 shadows once to use 3 marked shadows again, okay? So, depends on how much backstory that you want to reveal. It'd be awesome. All right, so those are things that are included in this particular game. Where we left off is, as was said, which is The PCs were in a cart, pulled by Black Orchid, who took on the task of like bringing everybody to Sun Guan Yu's estate for this party, this gathering, and it also includes Morning Storm. And then you came upon a cartsman who had this burden, and their cart went off the road, and you all helped for the most part, and discovered that he was carrying 4 coffins, and he was going to the same place you are. So, like, he showed you the order and everything. We can, given that we are missing a Black Orchid's player, we're going to go ahead and like fast forward to the actual gathering itself. Maybe by the point that you all have gotten there and also gathered some people along the way. I think, Black Orchid was very generous and basically said, hey, are you going to Sun Guan Yu's? Fine, I can take you there because we're all going there. That's fine. I think you gained like several different people that you talked to along the way. And I had actually included certain things in the NPC tab, but we can meet them also at this gathering as well. So, yeah, so we'll say that we're at the estate, and that probably by the time that you all get there, Black Orchid is exhausted and needs to lie down for a little bit. So that's how Black Orchid is going to spend some time. I think you're all gathered in the foyer, but you come onto the estate. This is also a school as well. Paint the scene for everyone. When you enter the luxurious reception hall, and like you take in the elaborate gardens, like Black Orchid like pulls up the cart exhaustedly up to the reception hall. Tell me what you see here that shows that Sun Guan Yu has been very successful, but there's signs that he feels that someone is after him.
Mm.
What do you notice in the gardens or the reception hall that make you realize that it is quite resplendent, but yet there's a feeling of security, like tightened security going on?
I notice there are panels in the walls that that have little holes in them that I know can shoot out blades. I presume.
Nice. Nice.
Which suggests that he's been feeling this way for a while.
Yeah, there are paintings. The eye is just like a little hole. Yeah. Hmm. Nice. That's very cool.
What else do you notice here?
I think I think he has a lot of servants that speaks to his wealth, but I think uh those servants have like arms. They have weapons on them, which is unusual.
I think he has a lion. I think he has just a full-grown lion with him as a pet. Extremely expensive to maintain. That's a huge status symbol of decadence and luxury, but also like a terrifying beast that is, clearly has love for him and will protect him. What's it doing here? Hmm.
And he greets everybody warmly, and then you have like several people like kind of milling about as well, also looking as if they are they've been invited as well. Maybe a couple of them have the invitation that look very similar or the same as yours, but directed, of course, to them. Okay. Sun Guan Yu will greet you all. He's dressed in his robes, and he will, like, he's kind of a tallish man of wiry stature, like middle-aged to like slightly elderly, salt and pepper hair, mostly veering on to white, has that long beard and like flowing mustache down into his beard, and he does not look like he's armed. Why should he? Because he's got his lion like right next to him. And so, yes, he welcomes you all very warmly. It's like, it is good to see you all. I am, as he looks around and like he kind of takes in every face, like he almost like locks eyes with each of you as he greets you. This marks a momentous occasion. There is an anniversary that I am celebrating. And you see behind him, like, he's flanked by like two younger people, one woman and another man. Think if you know the Sun family, you know this is like his son and daughter. Okay. I welcome you to refresh yourselves. My servants will show you to your rooms, and we shall have a feast later on this evening. But you are welcome to gather anywhere on the grounds, and the servants will see to your needs. The feast will be at, sundown or whatever. Okay? So, as he's looking around and he's like saying all these things, he kind of looks to each of you, and I think his eyes rest on you, Gullible Mu. And like, his eyebrows raise,
Yep.
but he kind of passes that along as he moves his gaze to someone else.
Oh, I quickly look away as well.
So, and then he spreads his arms and dismisses you essentially, and he turns, and his children will turn also, and they will go to like a back room as the servants will show you to your quarters. Within the what do we think? Do we think that the school has chambers in the higher floors, or like there's like kind of different little row houses like outside of the school itself that you are shown to? What do we think?
Separate sounds good.
Yeah.
Like an annex,
Yeah. I
yeah.
like that. Separate quarters and annex, right? And so Black Orchid's already like huffed and puffed his way over to to one of the...
Black is already sleeping.
Oh yeah. Well, no. He's already asked like the servants to give him the full flagon of wine, and then like he's gonna go get his rest. He's done his job for the day, before the feast. So like let him get some rest. It's okay. It's fine. All right. Hold on. I did ask for some I did ask some questions ahead of time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So before we get into the full on where you can meet people and such and so forth, I want to get to the question that I asked Soup. What rumors have you heard about the estate?
I think I've heard that among his, as in the master's children, there's a lot of rivalry for who will take over. And there's no love lost between these siblings. Each of them would kill the other if they had a chance. It is their father's presence and reputation that keeps them in line. I think I'm just going to say that I think the rumor is specifically that the school, has this association with lions or something like that. They probably have, some symbol but I think when they gossiped about, they just called golden snakes. Oh, that's a snake. They're all snakes.
I think as you are shown to your different quarters, Gullible Mu, I think you are shown to like a place that's like at the end of the annex, like at the end of the row. But you also kind of pass someone that you didn't realize that you recognized until she turns to go into her room. And you see the profile of Chen Rogang. How do you know her? She's dressed in red robes, and she also has a um, a scabbard on her back with a sword in it. And you know this sword has strange um, guard and pommel, but she has never shown it to you or really anybody else. So you're not sure what the actual blade looks like. How do you know her?
Um, let's see. I had an idea, but if I've never seen the sword, I'm gonna have to change that. I
I mean, do you
think
think I mean, she's unwilling generally to show anyone her strange blade, but do you think you have seen it?
my thought was that I was tending the sheep and I heard this really weird music, and I went to investigate, and there was actually a fight going on with her and two brigand types. Um, and there's this weird like metallic flute that I music as that was kind of like accompanying their battle, and I realized is what it was that her sword has holes in it, and the pommel, maybe there's like a hollow tube or something. And she was, as she was fighting, she was kind of like running her hand over the holes and playing this song, like this hypnotic song. Um, and after she killed the two brigands, she saw that or maybe it would be better if she didn't see that I saw. Yeah. I think I hid and just
You,
instinctively because of this energy she was giving out, this dangerous energy.
yeah.
Um,
I think it was very easy for you to hide because I think you were herding the sheep and they
right,
just happened to clump, and then maybe you were just
right,
able to duck down amongst them,
right.
as she turned, but then like, she saw the sheep and then she just kind of like ran away as soon as she killed
Yeah.
the brigands, you know. So that sounds cool. Nice. Jintong, I think you did notice Sun Guan Yu looking at Gullible Mu, but what kind of look did you have on your face when you were listening to him talk? And what were you thinking when you were making that face?
Jintong generally has in a group, will or in a place that is more crowded, will generally um stay closer to the back or just uh, try to be less obtrusive in terms of her presence. So I think it might be hard to see her expression at first, but I th when the camera zooms in on her face, she has a look of contempt as she looks at Sun Guanyu.
Why don't you care for him with this look of contempt? How do you know him?
Um, I don't like him because while he has a reputation for being moderate and just, and often speaks out against the Red Lantern Association, uh, I know him as a repeat customer of the Red Lantern Association, and he's hired us multiple times to kill off his political obstacles.
The behind the scenes, absolutely. All right. I think we'll speed to everybody like having gotten ready, refreshed themselves, and all that kind of stuff. And I think we are going speeding to the feast. It is this grand table with all sorts of you know, platters for everyone to enjoy, eat their fill. The wine wine glasses or mugs are filled to everyone's content constantly through the meal. And I think once everybody has taken their fill, I think this is where Sun Guan Yu will stand, fingers tented on the table, and then just look around as he did before at everyone that is here. So there are, besides you three, because Black Orchid is still sleeping off his exhaustion, I think there's about 5 to 7 other people here. Did we want to say, I'm just asking, did we want to say that Riverglass and or the White Monk are here as well, or no?
I'm fine with that.
I think it would be more interesting if the White Monk wasn't here at first.
Was not here. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But Riverglass is.
Yeah, I mean, you could say like he comes in late if you
Yeah.
don't want us that we'll skip the reunion till later.
Yeah. So Riverglass and maybe the White Monk come later. That's okay. But just imagine that everybody that except for like San Huang on the top row of the NPC tab. Yeah. Everyone on the top shelf except for San Huang is actually here at the dinner, at the feast, okay? And of course the 2 kids of Sun Guan Yu. All right. So he stands and he says, I have all gathered you today because this is the anniversary of the death of the leader of the Green Leaf Society. Lan Wuxian was killed 10 years ago tonight, along with his 3 most senior disciples. Many others from his clan also fell. Lan Wuxian at the time led the Verdant Sword Alliance, which this school also belongs to. Some will say that I have benefited greatly from this death. And I think whomever is sitting next to Undaunted's Zheng, I apologize if I'm butchering these names. I'm so sorry. Like, you know, he's already looks like he's already like 3 sheets to the wind and has like 5 cups in front of his plate. And he kind of like ribs whomever's next to him and says, oh yeah, he definitely like, you know, got all of this gold somewhere, didn't he? And Sun Guan Yu ignores it and acknowledges the anniversary, saying, I bring this celebration to honor Lan, but also I believe that those who killed him are now after me. There have been mysterious events here. Several students vanishing. There have been signs. There have been words scrawled on the outside wall. And maybe telling of all, there was a note left saying that I will get mine sooner rather than later. I believe that there is a child of Lan Wuxian who survived, and now mistakenly seeks revenge upon me. I would not kill Lan, who was my fellow society member and friend. But I suspect that this child, and he takes that measured look around the table again, might think that this is retribution for what was perceived wrong. I suspect one of you is that child.
I'm gonna raise my hand.
Yes.
I am not that child. Neither my mother, nor my father, nor my stepmother are this person that you speak. And then I'll sit back down.
He kind of like hesitates and then just kind of nods at you, and I appreciate your honesty. Just know, if one of you is this child, that I did not kill my friend. But I need to see if I can figure out who is leaving me these signs, and I fear for my safety. Even as behind him, like the lion is like kind of like in that upright position sitting and just kind of like doing a big lion yawn, like you see this maw open up and all the teeth and the tongue loll out. And I have invited you all here because you have known me. I've known you from the past. But this is in celebration of the anniversary of this death. Again, to honor my friend. I invite you to enjoy yourselves. Please eat, drink, and enjoy, and we can talk more in the morning. And, maybe there's some murmured conversations, like, people leaning into each other, and then just kind of like trying to get a handle on what just happened as he stays standing and then turns to leave, his lion padding after him. I think the two children who have been on either side, I think they'll get up as well, but they're not getting up to leave. They're getting up just because they're done eating, and then maybe they will wander out into the foyer, or like not the reception hall. Yeah, the reception hall. Sorry.
So just um, a small question.
Mm-hmm.
Are these characters
Mm-hmm.
confused about why they have been invited, or are we all supposed to have some pre-existing relationship with Guan Yu?
Some of you know Guan Yu by reputation or have
Yeah,
worked with him in the past.
yeah.
I leave that up to you. I mean, obviously Jintong doesn't like, doesn't like him. We know from a meta level, but yeah, and then Gullible Mu, you say you don't know. You don't know this man at all.
So
But yet
yeah,
you were invited.
exactly. So is that like a fruitful mystery for all of us? Is it like, why were we invited, like a question that is in our heads right now, or should we be answering that question?
Hold on, let me see. Okay. I mean, it could be something that's a question in your own head, sure.
Yeah.
Um, so we will go on to, I don't know if you want to talk with some of the other guests here as I can describe them. I think other people will push away from the table as well if they are done, but they will mill about, like kind of discussing, the likelihood of being, this child that he's talking about, like, and the discussion of why some of these signs have been left around the school. If any one of you want to go ahead and talk to Sun Zheng or Sun Yang, or any of the other guests, you're welcome to do so. Sorry.
I would love to use my deadly secret move to
Okay.
establish a detail about one of the Sun siblings.
Oh, okay.
So the martial art world well. When you first meet someone from another faction or group, you may ask about or declare one detail of their reputation or their clan's activities.
Okay.
So I would like to do that.
Okay.
I don't have a preference for whichever one of these. I'll do you have do you have a preference, Matt?
No, I mean, like, if you'd like, you can go up to either one. You just tell me which one you want to go up to, and then like, I will give you something about, like, how they look in pertaining to what truth, one detail that you mentioned.
Yeah, Jintong is sitting very upright and still, and holding. I guess we weren't given tea, though. I feel like.
Oh, I mean, like, whatever's been flowing. I mean, like, wine and,
Okay.
like, like after dinner tea, whatever you'd like. The servants
Right.
are around, so.
Yeah, so she's holding just a little cup of tea and glances over at Sun Yang, and I would like to maybe I'll ask a question about their clan's activities recently. That that's all that move says.
Okay.
So I can ask about their clan's activities. So what do I know?
Okay. And, like, you're talking to, or you're observing Sun Yang?
I am looking at him and then recalling. So I
Okay.
am not interacting with him.
Right. Yeah, he's he thinks he's a player in the wuxia world, but I mean, from what you've heard lately that it's basically between Sun Zheng and Sun Yang, and Sun Yang is kind of ineffectual. He tries to play on his father's rep and the Sun, the Sun name and Guan Yu's name, but like, they're not the most important clan within the Verdant Sword Alliance. Even though they have lots of resources, right? I mean, like, because that he's been hiring Red Lanterns to solve his problems, solve some of the back end problems.
So does that mean that what I've heard is that he's been trying to push the influence of the Sun clan and has met significant pushback?
Not significant pushback, but I mean, like, imagine, like, you've seen conversations or you've heard conversations secondhand that say, it's like, huh, there's that Sun Yang again, like, trying to parlay his father's name. Didn't work yet again. Verdant Sword Alliance isn't taking anything from a puppy, but they gave him something to do to keep him busy.
So what does that say about their clan's activities?
That, again, they're trying to cast a different net for getting their name out there, and, like, trying to spread the reputation of the school.
I think the interesting thing is, like, how is he trying to increase the reputation of the school? Is he, like, challenging other people and then being turned down? Is he like trying to, like,
Or
arrange like a
he's
wedding of some kind with somebody, like these are the
he's been challenging other students per se,
Ooh.
or even like, kind of maybe, as you say, making a bet on other students of the school that will fight or will challenge other schools. Making bets. Okay. Yeah. So that's something that you've heard, that you've seen bandied about.
Okay. That's the thing that I'll do.
Okay.
Someone else can go.
Yep. So
I
again,
think I'd like to turn to both of my companions and be like, uh, do two of you have a good reason to be invited here?
I'm sorry, a good reason to what?
Do you have a good reason to be invited here? Do you know this guy?
I have never met him.
I don't have a good reason. No.
Well,
Oh,
I
you
don't
don't.
have a good reason. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I think somebody comes up behind you hearing that question, and I think it's hold on, let me grab one of the NPCs. It's like and it's undaunted Zhidong.
Nice.
You don't realize why you're here. Like, he's holding two cups, like, one cup in each hand. You don't realize why you're here? Really? Now, I don't remember if I asked last time, but are you all the same age-ish? Who's older? Like, or is, like, everybody too old? Sorry about that. Mac does weird things when I do hand gestures. It's very strange. Sorry. I'm sorry. Like, so is everybody about around the same age-ish, we think?
Yeah. I think I'm
Probably.
in my 20s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, and yeah, Undaunted Jidong, you can't really tell like how old they are. They're like around their 30s or maybe into their 50s with like, less lines than usual, but I mean, like, regardless, he's just like staring down at you all and just like, you don't know. Really? Takes a swig. It's because he suspects you all of being that kid. That kid of Lan Wushan's. That's why.
Yes, he did
So
just
then,
say that.
I know,
so
but I mean, he knows you somehow, right? He's gotten your names through some kind of connections and said, "Oh, well, maybe this is the kid that's trying to kill me. So maybe, just maybe, he might be trying to take you out instead." How funny is that? I don't know anything about it though. And he takes another swig.
okay. So we've been invited to be killed. It's good to know. I just liked it.
I mean, I'm not saying that's the thing. I'm just saying he suspects. I mean, why else? I mean, you all look like you're about the same, you know. And he squints all at you. I guess you're all the
stand.
same age.
And I leave.
Ugh, what's with
I'm not
her?
gonna listen to their conversation, their one-sided conversation. But I would like to know what Undaunted Zedong's faction is. If they have one. Otherwise, I can just declare detail about their reputation.
Yeah, it's like ambiguous. I mean, like, just don't know. Um, they're they're kind of, well, they're okay. Hold on. If either one of you want to call upon a move to talk with Zhidong, I mean, I can get more information possibly from him. But you, as far as you know, Jintong, you don't you remember him being of any particular faction. You can't tell if he belongs to that because his clothes look pretty much like kind of raggedy, so he doesn't show any associations just by looking at him.
then I'll declare a detail of their reputation,
Sure.
which is that they have a reputation for being extremely rude, but also people don't mess with them because they are extremely skilled and powerful.
Yeah, you can tell by even just looking at the way he's holding the cups. It's casual. He's just swigging from the cups, but I mean, there's a delicate balance there. There's like a power but yet delicacy to how he's holding the cups. Maybe he even switches like his grip like before you even know it, like from holding to clawing to changing it up and cupping. I mean, like, it just shows you that like he's always changing it up so people can't get a handle on him. But in the meantime, let me see. I think when you leave the table, and I'll get back to you two in a sec. I think when you leave the table, I think Morning Storm will come up to you, Jintong, and say, "That can't be right. Sun Guanju actually suspects that we're this Lan Wushan's child? Really? Is that what this is about?"
I'm not sure. It's hard to say, but that is what he declared to us.
But I mean, he sent an invitation to all of us.
Yes.
I got one, Gullible Mu got one. I mean, it seems insane.
There are other people who received the invitation who are not of that specific age.
Are you going to stay? Are you going to leave?
I will stay.
I feel like something's going to happen.
Do you smell it? The blood in the air?
And she just nods. She doesn't say anything. Back to you two. Do you talk to each other? Do you continue to talk to Undaunted? Or do you go and talk to somebody else at the table or beyond? Again, the two children had gone out to the reception hall.
Rod?
Yeah, I say, I'm glad I am notified our honored guest, our honored host, that I'm not the son. Um, so I'm in clear. But I think I'm gonna look at uh who is that? Let's see. Is San Huang there? The one that poisoned Jintong? Or is that just
Oh, no, sorry. Like, I said, like, she's out. I
she's not okay.
left her there. She's yeah, she's in the
And
past.
and what about Mao King?
Mao Jing?
Mao
Yeah,
Jing?
I think she's here. Yes, definitely. She's sitting at the table looking a bit wistfully. I think when you look at her, I think she's looking a bit wistfully at at where Sun Guan Yu had left with his lion. But she's still
Well,
at the table. She's still kind of like, having a drink, she's kind of like sitting there by herself.
I mean, she's the oldest person here, so that means she's the
Mm-hmm.
smartest, right?
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right.
This is what Wu thinks.
Okay.
Yeah. Excuse me. I will I wish to ask um I wish to speak with this um I'm trying to think of a honorific. Um excuse me. I'll just say I'll walk off
Oh,
to her. Yeah.
hello.
I bow.
She kind of like, nods her head in return. Sit. Did you enjoy the feast?
Oh yes, I ate more dumplings tonight than I've ever eaten in my lifetime. Um uh, uh I hope I am not intruding, but I wanted to ask you some questions. Um, you are you are the oldest here, which means you are the wisest. Um, and I think you are too old to be the son of this person who was assassinated. I'm sorry, the daughter of the person who was assassinated 10 years ago. Um, and that means you are innocent of whatever our host might suspect. I was hoping you could tell me, does the host mean us harm here?
I do not believe so. He has done this particular celebration every year. But this is the first time that I've seen so many young people invited. I think he's getting quite paranoid
Oh,
with all
wow.
these things happening here at the school. I'm not sure if he's had this suspicion that Lan Wuxian's offspring is actually out to get him. But that seems to be his current line of thinking. I don't think it's correct, but that is my opinion.
I'm gonna do a move, proud youth.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when you seek the guidance of an elder, uh, tell them the challenge you face and roll. On a hit, they tell you what to do. On a 10, they reveal their own secret connection.
Okay.
And then if I listen to the advice, I take +1 ongoing for the problem. If I go my own way, I mark XP.
Okay.
So I think the challenge then is yeah, I mean I've eaten the host's food and taken of his hospitality. Is there but I have nothing that I can repay him with. Um can you think of a fitting gift that I might give him in turn?
That is so sweet. Go ahead and roll, and then we'll see how else she responds.
Oh. Oh, do I have to pick an element? Yeah, right.
What, you did a miss?
No, I mean, I didn't roll
Oh
yet.
yeah, sorry.
I'm saying
I
element.
apologize. It's like that's what we're here for. We're playing a game. It's great.
Yeah, I have to
Does it
roll.
say that you have to pick an element? I don't. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
No, it does not say.
So it's just a flat roll.
I think it's a flat roll.
Okay.
Randomized.
I rolled a 3.
Are you serious? Oh my god.
I'm serious. Yeah, I'm a
I think you
miss.
are supposed to add an element because in
Oh,
pretty much everywhere, all the descriptions of moves, they don't say add an element. So
Okay.
I think it assumes that you would be adding an element. Though in this case, I don't know if
Yeah.
it matters.
yeah, I don't think it matters.
Right.
Unless they use a shadow, right?
Yeah, you could conceivably do that, or they're going to.
It's not a study. You can't use shadow.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
That's right.
you're right. Thank
Yeah,
you.
shadow's only on study. You see, he was paying attention, and I just mentioned
I'm
it
just not.
myself. That's great. I love it. Okay, so yes, you cannot do anything except take XP for the miss. That's one, and then fail forward. They don't have time for you because of shocking events. I think a fight has broken out.
Oh,
I think
right.
she's gotten up because she hears like the ruckus between the two siblings out in the reception hall because nobody else has joined them out there. Or actually maybe they have. Hold on. This is one of the few times that I feel like it's okay for the GM to go random. Hold on. Okay. I think out in the hall, like if you all go out there or what have you, I think you'll hear like raised voices, like it's Sun Zheng and Sun Yang, and but it's also, I think, um, Cheng Rogan has also been accosted. Um, yeah, and she's there. She's very stoic in her crimson robes. She has her sword not on her back. She's not threatening at all. But I mean, like, Sun Zheng is in her face, saying, "It's like, is it you? Is it you who's threatening my father? Just draw that sword and prove that you're not that leader's offspring," or like whatever she's saying. And then like her sibling is sort of backing her up, and then just kind of like trying to goad like Cheng to reveal her sword, and she's not going to. She's just like standing there, like, taking it and just having an extremely neutral face. And then yeah, Mao leaves you and says, "Excuse me, I must see to the children," and then she will go and try to deal with them. All right. And Soup, what are you doing? Are you talking with the Undaunted, or are you going to go to someone else?
Yeah, I think me and Undaunted are going to spend the next 1 hour competitively drinking. Like there's going to be like no words said, like nobody has said we are competitively drinking. There is just a kind of eye contact, and there's a certain set of the jaw,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
as we and I'm doing this purely because I want to read this extremely rude fellow. Right? Like I'm just trying to be like, what does he know? So I think I'm just, yeah, for whatever length of time me and them are uh, going to be drinking, and I'm going to be asking like pointed questions and all of that stuff. And maybe we could wrap it all up into uh, it. This could be a study, or I could be doing tracing shadow, which is my playbook move.
I thought you were doing your
Uh,
playbook move, "Come drink with me." I mean,
yeah, no, but that just lets me lead them away
okay,
or
okay.
hold their attention. What I'm
Right, right,
trying to do
right.
is like read them. So
Okay.
I think I'd like this to be a study.
Okay, okay.
Um,
Alrighty. That's fine.
yeah, I'm studying Undaunted, and I'm going to try to understand what they know about uh this school and what's happening here. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Alrighty.
So I I'll pick an element and roll.
Yeah.
Um, um, I'm going to say this is fire because
Okay. Creativity,
um
speed, and passion.
yeah, maybe not actually, because I think awareness, wisdom, flexibility. Okay, this I'm wondering whether I should aim to screw this up or not. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say this is water, actually.
Okay.
Let's say this is flexibility is my primary thing here.
Yeah.
Um, cool. Let me go ahead. Still a good role. I'd like to succeed sometimes, I think.
Okay. Study.
Yeah, yeah. Rolled an 11, so no shadows required, I guess. But
No, absolutely not. Gain 2 hold.
all right. Um, and I could just gain a clue if I spend 2 gold.
Okay. Gain a
Yeah.
clue. Awesome. All right. So yeah, you're okay. Let me just like read through that move once yet again. It is you reading their web of connections.
Oh no, no, this is study, so this
Oh, okay.
is
Study. Sorry, sorry.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. So gain a clue. No problem. Pardon. And you can put this into the mysteries tab.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think this is interesting, and it's actually fitting for where you are right now. I think you realize, like, as you're competitively drinking this guy, and like I pictured the montage of like you like stare, to him, stare, and then cut back and forth as you like take sips from your cups and everything.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there's that cute music going on in the background for this montage. But I think as you go along, I think you'll discover that eventually you get to a particular bottle or like, you know, jugs of this particular vintage that's clearly marked. You know it's a fine vintage. You have drunk anything and everything under the sun, and you know this is supposed to be a fine vintage. However, this has been replaced with a much more common drink. Like
Ouch.
it's
Oh,
basically like, you know, like grape piss, basically. It's not
oh,
it is not the fine vintage wine that is on the jug. On the jug. So that is your clue.
wow.
Jugs of a
Wow.
fine vintage wine which have been replaced with a common drink. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Shall I note this down on
Please
one of
note it
the...
down in the mystery tab, and then, like, you know, you can start.
Okay, I'm going to just use the second one. Just uh, a jug of fine vintage replaced with some common type.
Drink. Yeah. Yeah. Apologize for that. It's like I just put that in there.
Nice.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. So I think if nobody else is doing anything, like, you know, like with the rest of the evening or whatever, you know, you will see. Hold on. So Sun Guan Yu has left the room, this particular part of the building. Like Mouching is like, you know, trying to deal with the younglings, like, you know, fighting, and then like trying to accost Cheng. And then Undaunted Jidong is busy with soup. All right, Jintong, I don't know if you're going elsewhere with Morning Storm or what have you, or heading back to your room. And then the King of Pearls is a young man who, again, dressed very elegantly, like white robes, and, like, you know, see the strings of pearls like draping their face and all their hair. But then, like, you know, maybe you see like further down, it's like if you really take a look, it's like you'll notice there's like stray threads from the edges of his robes. And maybe, like, you know, he continually shuffles his feet underneath said robe, so you don't notice like the very scuffed footwear underneath, like beyond road dust, beyond, like, you know, travel wear. We're talking like probably holes under the bottom and such. So yeah, so if there's nobody else dealing with anyone else at the moment, then I think you retire to your rooms, very comfortable rooms. Servants are seeing to your needs, like, before you go to bed. And then,
Can we go on break?
oh yes, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm just like so involved. Yes, let's go on a 10-minute break so I can
Yeah.
figure out what the hell's going on. And
then
yeah.
Also, when we come back, maybe Gullible Mu should roll face to fate, because that should be at the start of session.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
wasn't sure because I rolled it last week as well, so I wasn't sure. And we'd had a very short session last week.
yeah, I mean, like,
So
you know, you can excuse me, you can re-roll that move again this week, because it's like I thought
okay.
we were going to get a little bit further along, but that was on me. So, yeah,
Okay.
don't worry about the soft move from last week. Go ahead and just re-roll for face to fate, okay?
Okay.
Gullible Mu has rolled the face to fate move and failed. Alrighty. Yeah. I'm gonna say that now, I mean, like, you know, you've said that like XP for failing is only when, like, you know, when it's with entanglements and such. That's fine. Like ours is like a shorter uh campaign. Like, we're, again, if we can, I'd like to see if we can get through the first 3 mysteries, but I mean, like, I'm not holding out any hope if people, like, you know, can't stick the series for much longer than our original sessions. But and at any rate, it's like, you know, goodness, soft move. All right. I want to say that as you're making your way to the to your rooms and such, like maybe there's like a little bit of a kerfuffle in terms of like Morning Storm will kind of hang back and grab your arm, Gullible Mu, and say, don't know what we should do.
Wait, sorry. Was Gullible Mu with us? With Jintong and Morning Storm.
No, like he was originally talking to Mao Ching, but I mean like this is like towards the end of the night where like you're all heading towards your rooms. I don't know if you went off by yourself, Jintong, or if you stayed with Morning Storm.
I would like to ask Morning Storm a question or two, but
yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to play that now, or do you want it to be later?
I'm going to ask you the question because, like, something's going to happen, like, once people have started to retire. You guys can still stay up and then do things, but I mean, like, at some point this evening, I mean, like, something will happen. So,
okay.
I mean, like, whatever scenes you want to get out now, best do it now.
Okay, I'll ask Morning Storm then.
Okay.
What exactly is your relationship to Mu?
What?
What exactly is your relationship to Mu?
He's my betrothed.
When did this happen?
Before we left.
How did you meet?
And she's looking real uncomfortable right now. He was shepherding, and I... Are you going to make me say it? She's not very good at hiding things, let's put it that way. Can I tell you something? Come back over here. Let's go into the gardens.
I'll follow.
And like she goes behind a hedge, kind of like looks around, makes sure that like nobody else is there, including Mu and Soup. And look, I met Mu in the market, and Soup was also there. And Soup was really trying very, very hard to get my attention, and just wouldn't leave me alone. I mean, it's really, really cute and all, but I mean, it didn't matter. He was just coming on way too strong. And so I managed to get next to Mu, and I said to him, I said, please, like, be my be my betrothed. Let's please play pretend. Soup's bothering me. And so he did. So we've been betrothed ever since.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
Do I know whether Morning Storm can fight or not?
I don't know. She's a completely like NPC character, like in other words, like she's not part of the mystery. She is part of Mu's Mu and Soup's entanglement. So I mean, like, what do you think, guys? I mean, like, is she a fighter or is she a citizen, civilian? That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, what does Mu think?
Oh, Mu doesn't think she's a fighter. Rod thinks she is.
What do you think, Soup?
Yeah, what does Soup think?
I don't exactly the same as what Rod said. I don't think she's I mean, Soup doesn't think she's a fighter, but Thomas does.
Wait a minute. Wait. I'm confused. Wait, who thinks he was what? It's a fighter?
all our characters think she's really like a normal person, but I think
Okay.
both of us as players, me and Rod, are interested in her, like us not really knowing her, our characters
Right.
not really knowing who she is. Yeah.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
Is that something that Jintong could have noticed, or should I roll?
I mean, if you want to declare like a detail about her, I'm perfectly happy if you want to do so. That'll help break the.
What if I declare she's a part of the Red Lantern Association?
everybody can be
Everybody's
it'll
a
be
Red
fun, it'll be
Lantern
fun.
at some point. Oh, go
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
I mean, like, more friends.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Um,
she's in disguise. She's in disguise. You're in the disguise.
Or it would be interesting if she was. She doesn't have to be a Red Lanterns Association member, but I think it would be interesting if she was one of the factions that we're a part of. So the Clove School, the Circle of Willows, or
Mhm.
Beastmen. Oh, I guess, Rod, you did establish that she's a part of the Circle of Willows, right? That's how you two.
Oh no,
No?
that was River Class.
Oh, my bad, my bad.
Yeah.
He was.
But I mean, like,
Class.
what a meet cute, because I mean, like, again, it's like she happens to be in the market. Like, Soup gets interested. She don't want Soup to be interested, so she cottons on to Moo, because he's right there. But who is she really? I mean, I'm glad if you want to establish a detail. I'm totally cool with
Yeah, I'm going to say that she's actually a part of Clove School.
that. Ooh. But Soup doesn't recognize her.
No.
I love this. Please
Okay.
say more.
All right. But I mean, okay, so if you want to bring that up, and then like we'll see if she admits
Yes.
it or whatever, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Oh no, what if she's Oh, I have a plan. That's bad.
But you
Okay.
are a better fighter and higher ranked member of the Clove School than Soup.
Shh. Don't talk about that. I don't think Soup realizes who I am. You know he ran away, right?
Flashback to when Soup drunkenly was like, I'm free of Clove School.
Love it.
Or something
But yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I'm like, I have the secret identity, but I just keep spilling it. Like,
You do. You're like, I am da-da, and then it's like, nobody knows.
yeah. I've told everybody at some point, but like, shh, don't tell anybody.
Yeah. So
Morningstorm is a lot better keeping more secrets than you. I mean, I think she
Except-
recognized.
except
think she
she's also
recognizes you.
not good at keeping a
Well,
secret.
But I mean, like, I
Clove
think
School, are you okay?
Close school. That should be a meme. Clove School, are you okay?
but really not.
No,
really...
no.
Your teacher who I killed is rolling in his grave.
Oh my god. Probably. This is like the what is it? The comedic B plot or C plot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
But
so I have that flashback to Soup saying it, and I'll nod.
He doesn't suspect. I didn't want him to be interested in me. I wanted him to come back to the school.
If he's interested in you, he could come back to the school for you.
Kind of committed to the betrothed thing right now, and I don't want to get into the whole nonsense of like, oh, he's interested in me, but I'm supposed to be another student at the school. Anyway, let's not think about it for right now. I'll deal with it in the morning. I mean, like, once we leave here, I don't know. I mean, I wish Sun Guanju had left me some sort of instructions on the invitation. Saying it's like, oh, you're going to research, you're going to investigate Soup and see if he's maybe maybe this child of like non-wan Wushan. I don't know, but anyway, if
If
let's
I
just
remember correctly, your school is a school of detectives.
it is, but it's just really complicated right now. I was supposed to just find a way to get Soup to come back, and I was resisting, but I don't want it. I don't want him coming back because he thinks he has a chance with me. So,
And does Mu have feelings for you?
I don't know. I hope not. I mean, I told him this is pretend. We're pretending just for a little while. I don't think he does. I hope not. Don't say anything, all right? I mean, we'll deal with it in the morning. We'll leave, and then we won't have to worry about this. Okay?
I'll start walking away.
That wasn't an answer. And then she'll head off to the quarters that were designated for. I don't know. Do do they have to have separate rooms even though they're betrothed? I don't know.
Yes, for propriety's sake, yes.
All right, just checking. I mean, I don't know. So, yeah, she heads off to her room, and then like I don't know if like Moo looks for her like to say anything else before bed or whatever.
So
Soup, I imagine. Go ahead.
I mean, does Moo know that we're betrothed because of Soup? I thought we did, right?
Think
Yeah,
so.
for sure, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
why do you think? Yeah, you must think you're betrothed pretend to be betrothed for some reason, right?
Right, right,
Like,
right. No. She did mention that to you. She said it's like
Yes.
he's
Okay.
he's giving me too much attention. Like, can you just pretend to be my betrothed so this way?
Okay.
It's like he thinks I'm taken. Whatever.
It
So
would be extremely funny if she was just like, let's be betrothed for reasons. And then Mu was like, okay.
maybe that's how it was in the very beginning, but not now. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, yeah. So Soup wanted to talk to, or Jintong wanted to talk to Moo. Somebody wanted to talk to Moo.
I was going to go and talk to Mu, but now that I have found out from Morning Storm what is happening, I I think this can wait.
Okay.
It sounded that the Morningstorm wanted to talk to Moo. I don't know if that.
Mm.
Only because no, like this was because I'm being dumb, and it's like thinking that's like they were sharing a room or whatever. No,
Ah,
it's me being dumb. Okay. So anywho,
Oh,
yeah,
actually,
yeah,
is it okay if Jinho talks to Soup?
yeah.
that would be great.
Okay,
Maybe you've actually won the contest. Maybe Undaunted Zhidong is like kind of pointing at you like very drunkenly and just like, you think you've won, you think you've won, you haven't. I have the last drink. And then like pours the cup, but there's like one single drop left, and then he just kind of like, and then just tips over at his seat.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what you see when you come up, Jindong.
I think Soup, it's like an empty room. Soup and Undaunted are the last people here. And Soup, I mean, Undaunted collapses. Soup is like, wish there was somebody to see that. My ultimate triumph. And then I look around and I'm like, do I see Jintong?
yeah, Jinho will step out of the shadows, arms crossed.
Be like, did that look cool?
I think it would have if you didn't ask this question.
That's a diplomatic answer. Uh, you seem like you have something on your mind.
Well, first of all, what did you find out?
No, 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 no. You go first. You go first. I'm sure you've discovered lots of secrets, and I only have one secret, so it'll have to be you.
Jintong will walk closer and then look at Soup, kind of trying to gauge how drunk Soup is.
Yeah,
Can you stand?
I can definitely stand. I think the reason I beat Undaunted was that I was pouring half my drinks on the floor once they got drunk enough to not notice.
Oh
So
my gosh.
like
So I
yeah.
step closer and then I noticed this giant puddle.
I'm just immediately stand up and like yeah.
And Jinho will just leave this hall so that we can make sure that there's no one around us, basically.
Yeah.
Like once we step out of the hall, I'll probably jump onto a tree or something and then expect you to follow.
I think I'm standing at the base of the tree and looking up and I'm like and I think I much less gracefully kind of have to, get a lower branch, pull myself up, and then I'm next to you. I'm like, yes.
Why did you run away from your school?
What this was going to be about the man who was trying to kill us. Is this about me?
Yes, sort of.
I didn't feel like staying.
Do you not enjoy detecting?
I think I enjoy having a good time with my friends more.
I see. How do you feel about Morning Storm?
Immediately I just continue as if I haven't heard that question. So I'm like, they'll say in detecting school, the detecting is about finding something important, but having run away, that's how I met my sworn brother, Black Orchid, and that's important, right? So for me, I think that all the old masters have got it wrong, and to find something really important, you have to not be looking.
Were you bothering Morning Storm in the market?
Immediately my face falls. Did she say that?
Expression very clearly like, why else would I say this?
I thought I was being charming.
Pushy?
Charmed?
You are?
Is this the secret red lantern technique? Is that what you're about to make my heart explode or something like that? Is that what's happening here?
I have a question. How do you feel? How are you feeling right now? Is this enough for inner conflict?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I think I'm glad you asked. Otherwise, I would not have remembered. But yeah, I have been conflicted since you brought this up. Oh, absolutely.
What do you think you're rolling on? And it cannot be your element.
It can't be my style element.
Right, exactly.
I I am going to be rolling with control, calculation, reflection, metal, which is Jintong style element, right? That's what's happening here. So I'm going to roll with that, which is flat 2d6, which will definitely work out for me. I got an 8, so I'm doing good, you know. Um, I can either flee the scene or mark an element to keep myself steady. Um, mm, Time to run away. I think I think Soup goes, uh, oh, it's an assassin, and then we'll just turn and run. Like, yeah. Um, just drop out of the tree and immediately like flee. Like, yeah. Back back to the dorms, I guess. Yeah.
I think as you flee, I think this is where it's nighttime, of course, deep and dark. I think in the middle of the hedge maze, garden, whatever, I think you hear like screaming and immediately cut off. You all hear it. Moo, maybe you're like, in bed or like, maybe getting ready for bed. Jintong, we're still in the tree somewhere. Soup, you're on your way back to your room, but yeah, I mean like you hear the screams and then
Could I have just a very short thing with Morningstorm before this happens?
absolutely.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I just pull her aside and I have a brilliant plan. And I take out of my pocket like these crumpled flowers. Um, if Soup is no longer interested in you, we can stop being pretending we are betrothed.
Uh,
And I think I think he would be good with Jintong, the two of them together. I see from your silence you think this is a good idea as well.
are you what exactly are you saying, Moo?
Come, and I think in front of Jintong's door, I'm gonna put the flowers, and I'm just gonna put down from admirer, from an admirer.
Oh my god. Oh, that's so sweet. But how's she gonna know that that's from Soup?
Um, uh, um, um, oh, uh, hold on, I have a little wine, and I'll put a little wine on on like some wine stains on the note, and then I'm gonna put it away.
I love it. That seems like a great plan.
All right, that's all I
But I
wanted
mean,
to do. Yeah,
okay.
no, go ahead.
Okay. No, I mean, I just
It's amazing because no part of it makes sense. Like just
no.
like no one thing makes sense. Like,
I mean, like, like Morningstorm's just kind of like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh man.
But anyway, screams heard, and like, suddenly cut off. I mean, people have stirred out of their out of their annex rooms and are heading towards the middle of the garden, the middle of the hedge maze. And when you get there, who do you think makes it there first? Jintong in the tree, Soup, Moo. Black Orchid might still be like passed out. I don't know. Probably. But
I'm happy to say it's Jintong.
Yeah, uh, Jintong can get close enough first, but will not actually go in until more people are there.
okay. Yeah. So basically it's like I think you find the center or like you're right outside of the center. And I think, coming from like a different direction is like I think Chang, and then I think like maybe behind you like comes up some of the other folks, and then behind Chang, we have like the King of Pearls and like Mao, coming up as well, and then I think when you all like kind of signal to each other from across the way. Maybe like you all peek around the corner and you see it looks like Guanju sprawled on the grass. Can't quite tell, you know, but it seems like a very odd, like, odd position. Like maybe one arm is up and then like, you know, one leg is splayed out off to the side. And then when you come closer, you realize that the reason why it looks so odd is because his head is nowhere to be found. And Sun Zheng and Sun Yang, who had run up behind you all, it's like just they're stock still, looking at their father's body. And Mao looks completely stricken. And varying faces from each one of the other people that have made it here to the center. So, this is the beginning of the mystery. Facets, which are the things that you would need to address for the mystery. This is the mystery of the House of the Falling Sun. So the facets are parts of the mystery that are kind of like, I would call them pillars. And your job is to start collecting clues and then put them under, or try to figure out a way at the very end, when you've collected enough clues, to be able to kind of like match up at least one clue with a facet. Okay? And, you know, so long as like one clue goes under a facet, then like you can consider that part like addressed. And then there's also moves, of course, that can change, that will allow the player to change a facet, change a detail about the facet. So, you know, just kind of keep these in mind. These are kind of like, you know, ways to focus your investigation of this mystery. So the facets are, this is not quite keyed into the same way, but I'm just going to tell you, and then I'll put them into the mystery. Murder of Sun Guanju. The real reason Sun Guanju called this party, and the death of Lan Wuxian and the fall of the Greenleaf Society is the third facet that you have to concentrate on. Okay, so I will post these at least in the chat, so this way you have an idea of what you're doing.
Oh, could you actually put these in the mysteries tab?
I will, but I mean, like, the way it's fashioned, it doesn't give you room for facets.
Doesn't.
This is a Brindlewood Bay setup. Yeah.
That's why Ben wanted me to take the other one, and I was like, I can't duplicate all of.
No problem. I mean, I'll figure out a way to adjust it. No worries. But I just want to.
Got it. Okay.
But I'll put them in our chat, right? So this way you guys can kind of keep those in mind as you're doing the research. And I'll figure out a way to finagle the character keeper a little bit. But those are the things that you have to kind of think about. The murder of Sun Guanju, the real reason he called this party, the death of Lan Wuxian, and the fall of the Greenleaf Society is the third facet. So, yeah. Now you have this mystery to investigate. Okay?
Okay. Detective Soup, would you like to do something after you ran away?
Yeah. Soon as I think I see the body, like there's again a change in my presence. I think that nobody has seen before, right? Like there is this, you know, the Joker, the Fool, like all of them kind of disappear, and there is a sort of like seriousness. There is a sort of like arch to his back, and sort of glint in his eye that's quite different from before. Um, think I'd like to look at I'd like to look at the expressions of everybody here, especially the two children. And I think I want to start there, but just to kind of project forwards into something that I will do is at some point I will ask one of them, did you know that your father asked for 4 coffins to be delivered here? There will be 3 more murders. Like, this is a thing that I will say at some point, so we can kind of, was it 4? Like, am I misremembering?
No,
But
4. It was 4.
There were 4 specifically. Yeah. So I will say this like out loud, like, at some point. But yeah, I don't know, because the role sometimes encapsulates a lot. So I'm just kind of front loading this. But yeah. Does this feel like this could be a study again?
Oh, of course, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, but you're only specifically looking at the guests' faces?
Yeah, I'm specifically studying the guests, and if I roll well enough and I get a clue, I'm happy to let that fall. However, but I might
I just want to make a mention that the complexity of the mystery is a difficulty 6, okay? And that indicates not the minimum, because I don't know if the rules remain the same for this as CFB rules, but anyway, I'm gonna say, like, it would take 6 clues associated with facets to be able to say, okay, like, now we can have a working theory, and like it will allow you to do the roll at the end, like, at the end of your theorizing without penalty. Okay, so yeah, difficulty 6. But go ahead. What would you like to do?
I'm going to study, and I will. Yeah, I'll study with water again. I think that's exactly what I'm doing.
Okay. Sure.
It is my detective stat. Okay. Yeah. 13.
Okay.
Yeah. This is my moment. This is the best I'll roll, and after this I'll go back to being
well, okay. So with a 12 plus, you gain 3 hold. So
Yeah.
what would you like to spend the hold on?
I'm gonna first start by asking do the children, like, do the children look, what is the word?
Don't say guilty, because, like, they could look guilty about a hell of a lot of things.
No, the opposite. Do they look hungry? Like, is there a kind of anticipatory, like, is there a, like, is any of them, and maybe I can spend 2 of the whole to ask it about both the kids, but, like, are either one of them...
You need two hold for a clue, though, so
yeah, if I spend 2 hold, I won't be able to get a clue. Yeah, so let me ask you about the first kid. I'm going to say Sun Yang, and does he look more sad or excited? Like, is there a, does he look like he's about to take some action here? Does he look like he's prepared for this and he's ready to take some action? maybe open-ended question, it'd be better. Sorry, still learning this game.
No.
I think my question is like, yeah, you know, yeah, what desire plays across his face right now?
Basically, he looks stricken for a half second that, obviously his father's body's there, decapitated. But then he kind of looks towards his sister and looks envious.
Yeah, she's gonna inherit. Okay, cool. Then I would like to spend my other 2 hold to gain a clue.
Okay. I
I
think
love I love the miss on study, which is I could still gain 2 hold, but another crime happens. That is that is very
absolutely.
good.
It's
Oh,
very good.
very good.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say that in the middle of this maze, this hedge maze, it's so beautiful, so elaborate, like high hedge walls and such, and then like just very tastefully shaped um, formations with the flowers and such. But there's also a pond here, very small pond, by a bench. And then as you're looking around at the faces and then checking out Sun Yang's expression, I think you see beyond him into the pond and you see something very disturbing. You notice that all of the koi in the pond are floating, and the water does not look right.
Oh,
So I'm going to say that clue is, and I will just see if I can paste it into the thing myself.
yeah.
It's You can contextualize this any way you like, of course, like given the state of things. But the basic clue is poisoned koi.
Can we say this is the same poison that Jintong has seen before? That's one way to contextualize it.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, if you want to go
Mm.
ahead and like throw that in there, like possibly it's something that like Jintong, a smell, the way it looks. You tell us, like if you think that could be interesting for later.
Yeah, first of all, is it interesting? Sorry, I was just trying to do a thing, but like,
I'm not super sure I understand what the contextualizing.
So
I
uh, I mean, like I'm like kind of running this like a little bit along the lines of a regular car from Brindlewood game, and so basically I give you the clue, the basic clue, and then when you will eventually do the theorizing yourself, it you can adjust the clue, like maybe it is something connected to you that you did recognize, um, or like if you think it points to somebody, then you can do that in the eventual theorizing itself. So
Okay, so
contextualizing
we
will
can
happen
wait
later.
then.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
totally wait on that. Absolutely.
okay, yeah.
Okay.
Cool, cool.
But yeah,
Uh,
that's what you see like beyond Sun Young.
yeah. Uh,
What do you two think as you're seeing this?
yeah.
I mean,
I think specifically also like this is when Soup will say that thing about there going to be 3 more murders because 4 coffins were ordered to this house and we passed them. Uh, and yeah, excited to see what the 2 of you uh do.
Oh yeah, I should have looked for where the coffins went. Anyway.
That's a
remember,
yeah.
you guys sped past the cartsman, like he was delivering it to to
Mm.
this estate, and you like Black Orchid pretty much like took you all in the cart and like sped past him, so you don't know if or when the cartsman made it to the estate. It might have happened already, but don't know. Yeah. But I think like uh one of the kids will look at you, like probably Zheng, and say, "What do you mean 3 more murders? Coffins, what are you talking about?"
Someone ordered 4 coffins to this school.
What?
When we passed the coffin maker on the road, we thought could be for anything. Seems like there's a very specific plan being executed here by someone who knows exactly what they're trying to do.
Everybody starts looking around the circle at each other. And this is where, like, Sun Zheng will take charge and say, "Get the servants to come out here and take father's body." And then she starts looking around and is like, "Where is his head?" And she starts like kind of looking around the hedges, like nearby, to see if she can spot anything. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go and look at Sun Guanyu's body.
Okay.
I will study the body.
All right. And what are you using?
The body wearing Sun Guanyu's clothes, I guess, is more accurate.
Cute. Oh. Nice.
Yeah, that's like 10 points.
And I'm going to roll with I'll roll with Earth.
Okay.
I want to know.
Specifically, what are you? You're just looking at the body itself and like.
Yeah, I'm looking for clues. And if there are any clues around the body, that's fine too.
Great. Okay. All right. Roll with Earth.
Yeah, so that's a 10.
Nice. 2 hold. What would you like?
I suppose I will. I would like to get a clue.
Okay. I think as you're checking out unused body, like maybe the physical form, to see if there's any marks. I mean, aside from the obvious one. You hear a crinkle, like paper crackling in his pocket, and I think you fish out like a folded piece of paper, and then when you open it up, it is a threatening note, and it suggests blackmail, but it does not refer to Guan Yu by name, so you can't tell whether it's somebody blackmailing him or something that he was formulating to blackmail someone else. It's like, it's kind of like, I know what you did kind of thing, and it's like, I will make my demands at a different time or something like that. So again, you don't know whether this is referred to him or if this is something he was going to give to somebody else. You have no idea. So the clue is a threatening note suggesting blackmail.
Okay, I will hold on to it.
If you're done, I'm also gonna try to look around.
Sure.
And other the guys, like I don't know much about dead bodies, but I do know about like grass and sheep trampling grass and movement patterns. So I'm just gonna search the area in general.
So
and I think
roll
I'm gonna use water as an element.
Okay.
All right, 10.
10. 2 hold.
All right.
Basic clue, or do you want to ask a couple questions?
We have 3 clues. Yeah, so I'll ask questions, I guess, then.
Okay.
Um, was there a fight here?
Nice.
You do not see a scuffle. You do not see signs of any kind of uh, footwork or anything that would indicate that there was any kind of fight. So no fight.
And is there any indication which way the killer went after the murder?
Unfortunately, because of all of the scuffling, all of the people that ended up into the hedge maze, there's a lot of disturbance. So, I mean, it's like there's no disturbance of a fight, but you can't see anything from where everybody has kind of like gone round and started wandering around and like looking around the body and such. You can't tell if anybody has, gone in or out recently. And it doesn't not look like there's any other um, entrance or exit to the maze,
Okay.
at least at this time. So, but yeah,
And nobody finds his head,
nobody finds
right?
his head.
Ooh.
I would like to flashback to my secret role in an NPC's tragedy.
Okay.
As in the King of Pearls
Ooh.
tragedy. So this is my former assassin role move. I committed terrible sins in the past. When I flash back to my secret role in an NPC's tragedy, describe it and take +1 forward in dealing with them. And then when I reveal the secret to them, roll.
Okay. All right. What do you think?
So I guess I would love to get a visual of the King of Pearls.
Okay. So yes, I mean, like, pretty much just as pretty as he looks in the picture that I posted into the into the keeper. Long flowing black hair, pearls in depending on if he's changed or dressed up or whatever, there's usually a set of pearls in some sort of configuration, either as a headband or like, weave through his hair, or as like a necklace, like a multi-strand necklace on his neck. And then usually like white to ivory robes, with like little accents of gold and silver threads. But again, while his upper presentation is very nice and just very neat and elegant, you can tell from looking at the edges of his clothing, like he's trying to hide, like, it's a bit threadbare in places. Some of this stuff has been, used for a while.
So I'm looking at him, and the moonlight casts this gentle glow over all the pearls that he's wearing. And the camera focuses on the pearls, and then when it refocuses on the scene, it's him dressed less ostentatiously, more in just regular clothing, but still very uh refined, or expensive at least. And he is embracing another young man. And then when he pulls back, uh he says, we cannot continue like this. I think my father has found out. And the other young man is just about to say something when he turns very quickly and shoots out a dagger from his hand, and it goes through the windows, but then this smoke starts billowing into the room, and the other young man says, "So, quick, cover your nose." But it's kind of too late. This version of the King of Pearls falls, and then the other young man tries to catch him. Um, and as he does that, as he reaches out to catch the King of Pearls, he freezes. Um, and then we see the King of Pearls kind of just looking so beautiful, passed out, the moonlight, or yeah, sure, the moonlight on his face, and then there's just a splatter of blood. Uh, and the young man looks down, um, and um, then we see behind him is Jintong, dressed in kind of a maroon, a very dark red, very convenient color for, dealing with bloodstains and so on. And her hand in his back, and then when she pulls out, it's his still pulsing heart. And her eyes just looking calm. And then flashback to the present. Flash forward.
Amazing. Oh my god. I need a 5-minute break, especially after that. So we'll take 5. I'll be back.
So good.
All right, so we saw that beautiful Moonlight Pearl flashback. My god. What would you like to do here now? I mean, the servants at this point have been called to come in and to take Guan Yu's body away, and they're wrapping it up carefully. Some of them are weeping. The rest of you seem to have alternating looks of sorrow, neutrality, or just yeah.
I mean, I know what I'm going to do. Jinho is going to go and probably do something, like either talk or study the King of Pearls, but I just did a thing, so I don't know if someone else wants to do something.
Yeah.
Rod, do you want to do something? You have something in mind?
Let me just look at the NPCs real quick. If you had something, go ahead. Um,
Hmm. No, I don't have anything
all right,
immediately.
I'll talk to you then if you. Moo will talk to Soup if that's okay.
Nice. Awesome.
Do you think the lion killed him?
I have more faith in beasts than people. And I think you do too.
I do. Mm, uh, I will. I'm going to start packing so that we can leave in the morning. I don't think it's safe here.
Do you say that loud enough that anybody else can hear?
Sure. Yeah.
I think that's my soft move against you, which is
Okay.
basically Zheng will turn around and say, "You can't leave. None of you can leave. This is murder. Someone murdered our father, and I intend to find out who."
But it wasn't me.
Gullible Mu, yes?
Yes.
We cannot go by simply what we say. it is just as easy for me to say that I didn't do it.
I
And
believe you.
we need to have a full investigation. See if the servants have seen anything, heard anything. Be questioning everyone. Master Soup, is it?
Yes.
Someone had said to me today that you have come from the Clove School.
Yeah. Okay.
You
Yeah,
are
as soon as
experienced in such matters, yes?
yes, I have some formal training in the art of detecting.
I will pay you to find out who did this thing. This cannot go unchecked or uninvestigated. And where is his head? I mean, like, she just kind of like breaks down when she says that last part. Who would do this and take away such a grisly souvenir?
Well, if we are to go by the tried and tested formula of detecting, you have a motive. And like you said, any of us could be the killer, including me, including Gullible Mu. Because maybe so far, everything he's ever done has been an act to throw us off the scent.
Soup. I think that is the drink speaking. Um,
Zheng will
you're
kind of
being
like,
very rude.
she'll like kind of sniff Soup and like, perhaps you need a little bit more rest, Master Soup. Maybe we all do. I would suggest going back to your rooms, barricading the doors, and hope to see what there is to see in the morning.
I'm gonna apologize to her for Soup's behavior. Just take a very low bow.
It is fine, Mu. It is part of the job, I believe.
Is Morningstorm here?
I'm sorry?
Is
Yes.
Morningstorm here?
Yeah, she's basically been like kind of looking around but not really moving. She's just been in shock, kind of like looking at Guan Yu's body.
Then I would like to retroactively say that everything I did now was just to impress her. So I would like to roll impress.
Okay.
Um,
Oh my god.
uh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay.
I roll. I've already described my performance. And I'm definitely rolling with fire here,
Okay.
which I'm still good at because I picked the fun, the funnest stat spread. Um, and yeah, on a hit, I get to pick two options. I would like to.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 7.
Okay.
Um,
Cool.
so you offer me a complication or hard choice. Oh, if I'm engaging someone specific, I should use hearts and minds, it says,
Oh,
but I'm not,
okay.
no, I am trying to. Oh, yeah. Interesting. No, 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 no. This is a public gathering. Sorry. I think this is the right move. I
Yeah.
would like to create a bond with Morningstorm. I think that's the option I'll pick. Is
Okay.
bond is a mechanized thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Cool. I'm gonna uh it I get to pick two things. And
Yes.
the second, I don't have a marked element. I could gain a favor from an observer. And I think the favor is I want uh, Sun Sun Zheng. Is that how you say her name?
Sun Zheng?
Sun Zheng.
Zheng.
Sun.
Sun? Sorry, am
Zheng.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
Zheng.
Okay.
Zheng. Okay, yeah. I'd like to ask her I don't know what the favor is, but like she's gonna help me with the investigation later. I guess is what
Okay,
by kind of preemptively saying that she might have done it. I think I would hope that you know she'd be more predisposed to helping me. Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Let me just like see what I might pick. She will. Okay, so I'm gonna say that yes, you can gain a favor with her, but I'm gonna say that she's going to come up close to you and say, "Get some rest, Master Soup. You have a lot of work to do in the morning." And I will also tell the servants, since you are now I am your client, I will tell them that you will not be allowed any more of the house's wines and alcohols. I need you sober for this task. You understand me?
Of course.
I mean, she says this quietly, so like nobody else would hear. But I mean, people are like,
I have a question.
I'm like, I did good.
How close is she standing
to
Soup?
Oh.
How close is she standing to Soup?
Yeah, as she's saying this last part.
Oh yeah, she's standing like within his 5-foot space, because like she's like leaning in to kind of like tell him, like, closely why.
Oh, I'm just looking for ships. No,
just looking for ships is
amazing. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, fair. Maybe they look cute to you. I mean, like it.
Yeah. I'm seeing it.
Yeah. I mean, like, that whole client detective business. Oh no.
Oh, she's the femme fatale, right?
Oh, hey, no. I mean, know. So.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, fantastic.
Yep. So, and
is Mu still upset with me for saying he could?
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, like, how does Mu feel?
Oh no, I mean, I thought you were being rude, but I think you were just being drunk and not knowing what you're saying.
Okay, nice. Yeah. You don't take it. Very good. Interesting.
You mean like, am I mad at you for saying that maybe I was the one doing
it? Yeah. Just asking. I think what you said was perfectly reasonable.
So I think for your what is it? The impress? I mean, you've impressed others, so not specifically Morningstorm, but I think she had been listening to what you were saying, and like she was nodding, and it made sense. So maybe she's not looking at you with like complete like, oh God, it's him, but like just kind of like, oh, okay, he's making sense, which ironically is in your cups. So like maybe you have to be raging drunk to be interesting. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. She thought I'd forgotten everything, but turns out, I'm still a detective. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like so she kind of like maybe at this point as well, she'll kind of like gaze at you with like kind of like a measured look, like, it's making sense. How do you feel about that, Mu? Do you care that she's looking at Soup, like kind of like, That makes sense.
I don't know that I don't
Okay.
know that I was that observant.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Like,
Uh,
well, I mean, like, you're probably still processing. It's like he was kind of dissing you,
yeah.
or like you take it as such. I mean, I'm not saying that he did. I'm just saying like maybe that's how you take it. Who knows?
Right.
Um, but yeah. Anybody want to do anything before we close out of this particular scene?
Yeah, I'm going to go up to the King of Pearls.
Okay.
What's his vibe right now?
He, pardon. He was watching the whole thing. I mean, like, he was looked as shocked as everybody else, and I think he was watching um, still, like, how people kind of like just kind of stand stock still and just kind of like are in their own head and not really registering that anybody else is around, but he keeps on looking. He was looking down at the body and watching them take the body away, wrap the body and take the body away. And now he's still where he is, where he started. And he's looking down at the place where the body was with the sinking pool of blood seeping into the grass. He has not moved. He's just staring down at it, looking pensive.
I feel like I want to study.
He
I
doesn't
was like,
like
oh,
yeah, he
what
doesn't move. He doesn't acknowledge your presence if
what
you're
if I
coming up
hearts
to
and
him.
minds? No, I think I should study first.
Okay.
Um yeah. I'm just slowly walking towards him and
Mm-hmm.
then studying him as I go.
Okay.
And I think it is also with feel like it's either earth or water, but
Let's see.
I think it's more earth because I'm
Yeah,
focused on one
you are. Mm-hmm.
person.
But definitely Earth is more appropriate.
Ooh. So that's a 7.
Okay. Gain 1 hold, or gain 2 hold if you take a cost.
Oh. Oh.
Oh. And you have some suggestions there. Alienate someone, cause a misunderstanding, reveal a secret, endanger an NPC, etc., etc.
Yeah, I would love to gain 2 hold and take a cost.
Okay. So now you're studying him as you approach him?
Yes.
Okay. Just trying to think of like how to work this into where it's like you haven't talked to him yet. Because there's like a bunch of things that could be done, like, for the cost.
What? I have a I have a I have a pitch for what Jintong could reveal just by walking, which is that someone can suspect that she's an assassin. Just suspect. Like, there's a certain like, a thing that someone might look at
Ah,
her and
got it. Okay, I got it. So basically, I think as you're approaching, you're studying uh, King of Pearls. I think just before you get to him, you immediately see like Cheng get in front of you, like, literally like, cross your path, get in front of you, and then stand in your way. What are you doing? Her hands are at her sides, like nothing threatening. You do see the pommel gleaming in the moonlight from her uh, sheathed sword on her back.
Is there an issue?
I have seen ones like you before. I just.
Around your father?
Oh, she. She immediately gets her back up when you say that. And she says, "What are you talking about?"
I'll give her a nod and then continue towards the King of Pearls.
She'll let you pass. but she just stares after you. Like the camera's just like panning on her face, like the eyes are intense, but the face is neutral. Yeah. And you get to the King of Pearls.
I want to know his scale.
Is
To
that what
me.
you're spending the 2 hold on, or
I'm spending
you...
1 hold on it.
I think he's on your level. Actually, no. Actually, it's scale. Nah. Scale. I'm not used to this method. So, in terms of scale, I mean, are we talking?
Is he above? Is he equal to me, or is he lower than me in scale in terms of his martial abilities?
Okay, below you then. Even at your training worst, he would be at that level. So he, at your current state, he's below you.
I'll step into his vision. So where he's staring down, I will kind of duck my head. What did you see?
Just remembering something horrible. All that blood. It is... And then this is where he kind of shakes himself and then looks right at you. If you mean about this, I saw nothing.
Nothing unusual.
Do you want to ask another question?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to think about. I'm so tempted
Or
to reveal
you could also reveal a detail, declare something. I mean, like, whatever you want to use out of that list.
I will reveal a detail.
Okay.
And the detail is that Sun Cheng, right? That's her name. No, Sun Zheng, has been. I can still feel her staring daggers at me.
Sorry, just to clarify, who was the NPC that just faced off against Jintong?
It was Cheng Rugang.
Oh, my bad. I thought it was Sun Zheng. It was Chen Ruogang. Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. So like
Got
that
it.
scene for all of us was like we were like, oh cool, you're saying something about her father, and we were all like, are you suggesting her father is the guy who, like, that the person that Sun Guan Yu was talking about, right? Like, that she's the assassin.
Yeah,
That's
that
how
makes
we
sense.
all
That's
read that scene.
that's what
We
I
all
thought it
read that
was.
scene like
Sorry.
that.
I thought I was talking to. No, it's my bad. I just misheard.
No. It was a really cool scene. So if you're okay with it, we could leave it like that.
I will roll with it. I will keep it
Yeah.
as is.
It was badass as hell.
Yeah, badass as hell. I was just like, yes, damn it. But yeah, you were talking to Cheng Rugang. Yep.
Okay, Ruogang. Okay.
And just basically, if I mention anything about a sword on her back that's still sheathed with the pommel being looking weird, it's her.
Okay. I want to say that I'm looking at the King of Pearls, and then I don't fully turn back, but I'm recalling a detail that I saw on Ruogang, and
Sure.
of course the camera will just cut to the close-up. I'm going to say that Ruogang is wearing some kind of jewelry or some kind of decorative element that is very not like her usual style and is decorated with pearls.
Could be weird and interesting. Okay. I dig it. All right.
Okay. I will. And so I'm like, okay, that, and then Get some rest. It'll be a long day tomorrow.
Yes.
I'll walk away.
Yeah, and we can close on that scene because I don't want to go too much over. So we're going to close out for today, and we're going to go to. This is not like end of session stuff. So I mean, like it's basically where we will continue the mystery next time. Stars and wishes for this today's session, which is full.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
There is end of session though.
Oh, is there? I'm sorry.
Yeah, for the entanglements XP.
Oh yes. Okay. So entanglements. What do we think? Like any entanglements that you have activated? Oh my gosh, that you have involved.
Yeah, I guess for me, for the Morning Storm and Soup, trying to grip Soup and Jintong together.
For sure, for sure.
Okay. Take point for that, for sure. Oh my gosh. Sorry.
I did not really wrestle with my entanglements. I think the Morning Storm scene I had was I already got XP for it because that was when I rolled in a conflict. So
Right. Oh my gosh.
That still counts though.
Oh, okay.
do you think so? Do you think so? You think I should get another one?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah, it doesn't-
absolutely.
As long as you've engaged with it, then it should count for XP, whether you roll it, inner conflict or not is a separate.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I
Happy
mean,
to
I'll
get an
totally
XP.
allow it. I mean, like even if it wasn't, I'd be like, yeah, absolutely. Come on now. Sorry, I'm trying to recall where end of session is. Is it listed somewhere? Or is that the only thing that you do at the very end? Is like, just see if anybody has any entanglements that they engage with for the session?
Yeah, so in the other moves tab here for advancement.
Okay.
Advancement section.
Okay, so takes a loss in a conflict, agrees to another PC's suggestion when they use hearts and minds, rolls in a conflict, and has significantly interacted with their entanglements. Yes, all players check this at the end of the session. Okay.
So
Yes.
if you interacted, and I read in Lowell's blog post, a more recent one, where he's like, I don't like the highlighting thing anymore, so don't do the highlighting thing anymore. But you can do what you prefer, Mads. You can get us to highlight the entanglement that we want to interact with more. And then at the end of the session, we would mark 2 XP if we interacted with that entanglement, and then 1 if we interacted with the non-highlighted one. But in, again, a more updated POV from Lowell, or opinion from Lowell, is to just have whichever one you interacted with significantly, you get 2, and then whichever one that you interacted with maybe less, then you get 1.
Mhm.
And then obviously if you don't interact with it, then you don't get XP for it. So
Right. Yeah,
however,
I like that. I mean, I like that idea. I mean, like if you've again definitely engaged with your entanglements, and a major one, 2 XP, and then of course if you engage the other one, then great. Like that's 1 XP for that particular move. I mean, for that particular entanglement for sure. Let's see.
Okay. Then I interacted with my my non-entanglement backstory thing a lot. I've been actively trying to figure out if Mu is a playa or not. And so
I mean, well, you're concerned about your colleague from Red Lantern, so yeah.
Yes, I am. So
I'm gonna be, and like I'll say out of character though. I mean, like because of like the number of characters that are already in here, I may or may not bring in like the White Monk and River Glass at this point because it's just like it's a lot. So we'll
okay,
see.
that's fair. If that's the case, then I might change the NPC for, or I guess if the White Monk just doesn't show up here, because then I don't have a way of gaining XP with that, so I might change whoever it is to someone who is here, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine. I mean, like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have really known. It's like, except for me, like, sticking them into the NPC tab. So, um, right. I
Well,
mean, I can bring them in tomorrow, which is, of course, the next session. So, yeah, you know what? I like that idea better. So anybody that did not appear in today's session will be showing up tomorrow late and wondering what the hell's going on. Why is everybody in a tizzy? So yes, so expect Riverglass and the White Monk to show up tomorrow to the next session. Okay. And then when Ray comes back, then like Pale Cricket will also make an appearance, I'm sure. So yeah, I took out one of the NPCs just because, again, it's going to be a lot with your NPCs and then the mysteries NPCs. So, we got enough. Brain. Okay, I think that's it, right? Because then, like, when we do start a session, then it's like including like all the entanglement revision and Mu's
Yeah.
face the fate move. So, all right. So, stars and wishes. Stars are things you liked about the session, gameplay, each other, and wishes are things you'd like to see for the future or next time.
I can go. I can go. Start to Mads for really like I think setting a really interesting start to the mystery. I think the location and these NPCs and the general like taste of the plot we've got is really good. I really love all of it. The kind of the decadence, the decline, like all, the politics, these schools, all of that seems really good. It's a great, uh, great choice for our first mystery. Stars for Agatha for just being like just being a star. I think like amazing, like 10 out of 10. Like only did the best moves. It was just so cool. I love Jintong. I think she's the coolest. Yeah, everything she did honestly was amazing. Uh, my star for Rod was 2 points. One was just like in the middle of Sun Guan Yu's like speech being like, I'm not the other assassin, which is just such a like outrageous swing to make. Like, for a character, but like yeah, fits really well with Gullible Mu. And yeah, I'm I also really love this kind of like nonsensical plan to like to stop having to pretend with Morningstorm if like if Soup could be set up with Jintong. It's just like just this sort of like, you know, uh like I love the idea that he thinks like this is how stuff works and you can just make it happen. I think that's very cool. Um yeah, so uh, that's my stars. Uh, uh, wishes wise, I think in the beginning of this session, like I was wishing that we would like take more time with our scenes. It would just be a bit slower. But by the end of the session, like I think we were doing it super well. Like I really loved the pacing. Like I think we were getting our little like character interactions. We were getting NPC interactions. Like kind of nice. I think we hit a nice rhythm by the end. So my wish is that we like maintain the rhythm of the second half of today, I think. Um uh any other wishes? I wish that like Mu had like a more like a bigger reason to participate in this mystery a little bit because I'm worried that like we're kind of self-defining him like out of it, right? Like he doesn't need anything, right? You know, so I'm a bit worried about like not having him in the spotlight enough. So yeah, so I don't have a solution to that. It's just something, Rod, you can think about giving Mu some motivation, and once Riverglass is here, maybe that can be a part of it. Um, what if like Riverglass was accused of being the person who did it, and then Mu might want to find out who really did it to prove that just didn't do it or something, just giving you some motivation there. But yeah, I think that's yeah, and I wish Ray attends the next session, I guess. Yeah, that's me.
I'll go next. Thanks, Thomas, for stealing my stars.
I just said everything.
Yes.
How dare you?
How dare you?
Yeah, I want to second the star for Rod with starting another plot thread. I think that's super fun. And also kind of a wacky, fun, comedic plot thread. I think that's really cool. And I find that a lot of times when I play, I tend to get really focused on what my character wants to do. So I really appreciate things that also affect other people. Like these kind of plot threads. So I thought that was cool. I wanted to star that. I also wanted to give a star to Thomas for the moment when Soup got serious and was in detective mode. That was really fun. And then also the detail about drinking. What's their name? Undaunted Zedong under the table by cheating. That was great.
That was awesome.
I respected a cheater when it comes to drinking. So yeah, and then also star to you, Mads, for just being so open with all of the things that I have been throwing at you because I was like, oh yeah, I took all these moves, like let me make things up, and then kind of went mad with power. So I appreciate you just rolling with what I've been the punches, I guess, rolling with the punches.
Oh no, you're
Yeah.
just feeding into my fever. The other people that have played games like this with me know that I, just bring it on. I will work it in somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really fun coming up with the flashback. My wish is, first of all, to interact with the white monk because I feel like so far Jintong has been very generally keep holding the upper hand in most situations, either in conversations or interactions. And I think it would be very cool to see the other side of Jintong, specifically with someone that she's in love with. So I think that'll be fun. Hope that Ray is recovered. That's my other wish. And yeah, I want to roll inner conflict, which would have to be, I guess, with Riverglass. And I might change up that entanglement. Since we haven't seen it in play yet, so it's not set in stone. I might change it up because I feel like I want it to be easier to hit. So
Well, you
I
can
will.
change at the beginning of every session, so I mean,
Yes.
you can
So
totally do that.
I'm putting this as a wish so that I can remember for next time.
Sure.
That I might want to do that.
Yes. Players can freely revise as long as the character is left with one romantic and one general entanglement after revisions. Yep. And I mean, I know that yours changes that dynamic a bit, but I mean, it's still workable within revising the entanglements. So no worries. Okay. Rod, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
Yeah. Yeah, I can jump in. Yeah, I guess I love the way you're playing this character. I love the way we're all playing our characters. But I really love the moves that the assassin brings to the table, and how you're really giving people reputations and adding details. That's awesome. I love your conversation in the trees with in the tree with Soup. Um, I love that you didn't take anything for granted. The body wearing Sun Guiyang's clothes. That was awesome. let's see. Um, I loved your thing with the King of Pearls as well. And that whole description with the moonlight. I think that would be a source of inner conflict if you feel guilty about it as well. That might be an avenue you want to look at. Um, the Thomas, I love the pet lion coming out of nowhere. That's awesome. I love the that you're telling everyone about your secret about the closed school, just like drunkenly having an open secret. It's hilarious. I also put a star against on the drinking contest, and how you're cheating on that. Um, I love the that line in the treetop with when you said you have to find something important, you have to not be looking, which is a very interesting take for a detective. And I hope you can, I hope we'll see that again. I love again, like Agatha said, how the demeanor changed when you again went into detective mode. Was cool. Um, and Mads, I love the setup. I love all the NPCs. I love that you gave uh Morningstorm almost like a new agenda and trying to get Soup back into the school. So I hope we see that as well. Um, I love the intrigue. I love the personalities that you're giving all the people for us to play with. Um, and as a wish, um, yeah, Thomas, about like I can get more involved. That's not a problem. I think it could be as simple as I feel bad for Sun Jing about her father getting killed, and he was our
Yeah.
host, and
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just thinking about Spotlight. So that was just one way I was thinking about solving it. So however you want to do it, right? Like, but
oh,
yeah, yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I mean,
And
I'm gonna
then
just go ahead, keep going.
oh yeah, I just have one more wish. I
Mhm.
think at some point somebody has to fight the lion.
Yeah, yeah. One of the things I was thinking about is like where is the lion? And I was like, that could be something that Moo's good at, right? Moo's good with animals. Maybe we can have a scene with him and the lion. Like I thought that might be fun.
Who can
Uh,
rescue what is the name of your sheep?
Cloud something.
Oh,
Baby
baby
Cloud.
cloud. Yeah.
You
Baby
can rescue
Cloud.
Baby Cloud from the lion. You can stop Baby Cloud from bullying the lion.
Oh
The
no.
possibilities are
Yes, I
endless.
no. Like Venerable Pei is the one that's gonna be bullying the lion. It's the baby pug. So I'm like,
Oh
all
my
right.
God.
No, you give me so many good ideas. I mean, I already had something in mind. I'm like, I might have to throw that out and just like, like use some of those. That's great. Holy crap. Yeah, I will say, and I'm just gonna reveal this now because it's like it's this one's too good to hold to my chest. I feel like I'm creating like subplots with facets, with my own facets, because I feel like with Mu, my thought was, why did his stepmother want to send him here? Saying, yes, go out and see the world, it's okay. And why this specific invitation from Sun Guan Yu? Implying that maybe he is one of the children, like he is an offspring of Lan Wushan. Your mother passed. And yeah, but
Yeah. You know that thing you said so confidently at the beginning? What if you were just completely wrong?
what if you were completely wrong? I mean, that is a thought in my head, just letting you know.
No, I love it. I love it because how would Moo know?
How would Moo know? No, Moo don't know. So anyway, that's a thought in my head. Maybe that's a wish that comes out. Who knows? Anywho, um, which could bring in like more of the Verdant Sword Alliance slash Greenleaf Society. Who knows? Oh my god. Anyway, so Yeah, I mean, like all the different moments, like each of the characters has just such a great vibe. I love Soup being kind of like, yeah, carefree and just like, like the dude until it comes down to business, in which case he gets all business, which is amazing. Amazing to see. And I think regardless of whether people ship it or not, it's like, Morningstorm's like, oh, so maybe he can be serious. And, she doesn't have to necessarily drag him back. Who knows? And then the thing with Jintong, oh, this could be interesting. And then the thing with possibly like, Sun Zheng. Who knows? I don't know. I love Gullible Mu. Gullible Mu is adorable. I'm just sorry we didn't see more of like the pets. Maybe we should have brought them to table. I have no idea. Yeah, true. Who knows about the Circle of Willows connection to Verdant Sword Alliance? Who knows? I don't know. We may find out. And then Jintong. Oh man, Agatha. I love Jintong being like that serious, intense person because it's like there's so much stuff involved there. Even the accidental like stare off between you and Cheng Ruogang. I mean, like, holy crap, that was hilarious and also badass. I love that. More of that, please. More of that. That was really interesting. But she knows, well, she doesn't know. She, Mu is familiar with her and has seen the sword itself, which could come into play later. Who knows? I don't know. Not yet. So again, love all the characters. I can't wait to see like Ray and Black Orchid in action. That's going to be amazing because then Black Orchid is going to come out of his stoop, out of his rest and like, like do what Black Orchid does, which I can't wait to see how much worse like Soup's life is going to be. It'll be great. It'll be awesome. So that's a wish. Yeah, I mean, like everybody had such great character moments today, and just really love like the B, C, D plots we're seeming to develop. Love it. And then I will bring in like the 2 characters that didn't appear in today's game, and see what kind of havoc they'll cause. So that'll be great. And yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed this session. I'm so sorry that I just didn't really like figure out like the start of session and the end of session stuff like off the bat, because I mean I'm thinking of playing this in like CFB terms, but it's like it's not, it's still Hearts of Wulin, and I just got to remember like all the things that I got to do in Hearts of Wulin. So thank you for your patience. Stars for you all for dealing with me and my noob running of this game. It's awesome. I mean, I'm paying attention here. I'm like really like getting into the scenes and just like enjoying all of the character interactions. You guys are awesome. So it'll be great. Oh, Jintong, flower in the note. You'll find that in the morning. Like when you finally get back to your room, you'll definitely find that flower in note. Oh my god, it'll be great.
Oh my god.
You guys just keep piling on, and it's wonderful. Can I tell you? I mean, I'm just like enjoying myself so much. I'm like, just you gotta wake me up and like remind me. Oh, you're supposed to be running the game. I'm like, you guys are truly running it yourselves. I'm just watching. That's all I'm doing. I mean, like, yeah, you think it's inner conflict? Sure, go ahead. It's great. Oh my gosh, so much fun.
Thanks so much for running, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it'll be great. So, yep, and I'll when it comes up, when it converts, I will post it in our chat, and then like Ray can watch it and see all the havoc caused, and be ready for next time. Can't wait. Alrighty.
All right.
Have a great
See
week,
ya.
guys.
Okay.
Bye.